Welcome to an exclusive preview into the athletic programs at Olathe's 4 high schools. You'll hear from coaches at North, South, East, and Northwest as they discuss their prospects for the upcoming season, and you'll meet some of their featured players. This is Coach Report.
Olathe East is no stranger to championship soccer. This year, the team hopes to return to the finals and win their 4th state championship since 2001.
The Hawks had a strong year in 2011, earning second in the league with a 10-1 record. Finishing 14-4 overall, Olathe East lost in the regional championship to the eventual state champion. The team returns 10 seniors, 5 juniors, and 2 sophomores from last year, giving the Hawks a strong nucleus of experienced players heading into this season.
We're here with Olathe East girls soccer coach Terry Hare, who has been at the helm for all 20 years of Olathe East's existence. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Tim, thanks for having us. It's my pleasure.
Now, you're coming off of a very good year last year, a strong year as we indicated. How does that translate to this year? What are you able to move forward with?
Well, there's no concrete recipe for continual success. Obviously, the major ingredient is having talented soccer players, and we have a plethora of those at Olathe East. Compound that with experienced staff of veteran coaches who've been at Olathe East a long time, who I rely on. We will then try to mix all the ingredients of talent and coaching to try and bring out the best in our players.
You have a very experienced squad coming back, 17 returners, 10 of whom are seniors. That's got to feel good going into it on paper, but you're trying to replace a lot of scoring as well, aren't you?
We are, Tim. On paper it looks good. It'll remain to be seen. Caitlin Adkins, during her 4 years at Olathe East, I think we lost one Sunflower League game in 4 years. We won a state title with her. We were state runner-up. In postseason, we lost twice to the team that went on to be a state champion. So she brought a lot to our program, and 40% of the goals that we lose are hers, and who knows how many others that she set up on corner kicks or slotted through balls or things like that. But I have no doubt that the torch will be lifted, and we may be scoring by committee and not by individual, but she was a great asset to Olathe East soccer, and she's doing quite well at Memphis University.
And when we discuss Olathe East soccer, we often hear a term about a tradition of excellence. Can you tell us what you mean by that?
Well, I think it's more than just soccer. I've been there since the school opened some 20 years ago, and we have a great building of professional educators, and the accolades at Olathe East speak for themselves. State titles, we have over 30. For soccer, I take great pride in my work, just like all the other professionals do at Olathe East, and we demand from the athletes quite a bit, and our expectations are high, and if you provide an environment like my practice field is my classroom, and they're going to receive knowledge and repetition, and doggone it, the tests come out twice a week, and it's kind of a cruel pass-fail. You have a win or a loss, and you may have a day in between to regroup and reorganize before the next exam. So a history of excellence. I don't keep track of my wins and losses. We've won our share of games, and it's a tribute to each year's team trying to rewrite a standard of excellence for the future teams.
Well, there's a lot of excitement surrounding your program this year. You have a lot of players who you've talked about returning. Tell us some of the players who your fans should be looking out for this year.
Defensively, I've got a couple seniors, Kylie DeHaven and Laura Schnell. Collectively, they help organize the back and keep those shots away from our goalie. They got 8 shutouts last year. They helped us to a 10-1 record in league. Up on the attack, we have Kirsten Corder, and we have Emily Jorgensen. And those two girls, they gathered 26 goals between them, and they're wonderful examples of what today's youth ought to look for to be a talented future high school player.
Now we bring you our Olathe East profile player.
Hi, I'm Emily Jorgensen. I'm a senior at Olathe East. Coach Hare always pushes me because he knows I can do better or at practice or at games. I'm always willing and wanting to get better. Conditioning is a huge, huge part of soccer. If there's one thing you can control about how good your team is how well you're in shape. Training all year round because it really helps when season comes around. It's called insanity. Just gets your heartbeat going. You know, a lot of the girls were saying how sore they were the next day because it's a killer. Defense is probably my biggest strength. You know, I'm a left-footed player. I'm pretty unselfish. I like to feed the ball through, and I like to get across and serve it to my teammates. Since I was in kindergarten, probably, but my first premier team was 2nd grade. I've been on the same team since. Same coach and everything.
She plays soccer at Middle Tennessee State University, where she plans on being...
I'll be attending Middle Tennessee State University. My sister, Whitney Jorgensen, plays soccer at Middle Tennessee State, so we'll be able to play another year together. So I'm excited about that. It'll be fun.
So do well. I'm gonna give you 1 minute to get everything set up.
Most of the better teams in high school are the teams that just work really well together, not like an one all-star player, but all the girls get along so well. I mean, everybody's just like, oh, soccer season's starting, soccer season's starting. We're pumped because we have all of our defenders are returning, so we just need to fill a couple spots on the offensive side, and I think we have a really good chance of winning state.
This season, Olathe Northwest expects to continue its momentum, building a program that can compete at the highest level.
The Ravens return 13 players and expect to come in with a solid foundation in place. Finishing 6th in the league with a 6-5 record, 7-10 overall, Northwest comes in with high expectations for this season and for years to come. The experienced players will be joined by a large group of younger players, ready to contribute right away and carry the torch into the future.
We're here with Olathe Northwest head coach Chris Graham, who was with the program when the school opened in 2003 and is now the head coach. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, last year you had an improved year. You had a positive record in the Sunflower League. How do you continue to improve going into this year?
You know, we've got a great group of kids that come back. I returned 13 girls from the last year's squad. We got great senior leadership, and the idea is that hopefully we can continue to build from there with the kids that we have coming back and the experience that we have.
Do you feel like you have a balanced team going into the season?
Yeah, I do. We have a great group of seniors that come back. We also have, though, a good mix throughout the groups. We had a really good freshman class last year, kids that played some significant minutes and contributed quite a bit to our program. So I would expect that those kids that are now sophomores would fit in great along with those kids that are returning as juniors and seniors this year.
Now, having shown that improvement from last year, how do you continually get better?
You know, a lot of it is not just up to me. I put a lot of responsibility on our seniors, and we've got the group that we have this year, the leadership that they're going to provide for us. They've done it for the last couple of years, not just looking for this year. So I have very high expectations of them that they're going to continue to be good leaders. We also continue to build. Not a lot changes with me as the head coach. The kids are used to the way that I do things and the way that the program runs. They're used to the expectations. So they're just going to have to come in, and if we continue to work and get better as a group, our chemistry is going to be very good. I think it was last year, so that shouldn't change. And I think all that stuff mixed together is going to make us pretty good.
Now, you're finding success beyond the pitch. There's an academic award that you won a couple of years ago. Could you tell your fans about that?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm most proud of our program about. 2 years ago, we were selected by the NSCAA as a high school all-academic award winner. We had a collective GPA for our entire varsity roster of 3.94, and we're recognized as one of the high schools in the nation that received that. And I put a big emphasis, being a classroom teacher myself, on the academic side, because these kids are student athletes, and so it was really nice to have those kids rewarded for their work off the field and to recognize them for their achievement in the classroom as well.
Now, back onto the field, who are some of the players who your fans should be keeping an eye out for this year?
You know, we've got some really top quality seniors with Taylor Kirk, Jessica Cruddy. Hannah Kalipek is one of our seniors. We've got some kids returning that are a little bit younger from our junior class, like Allison Haddad. We've got sophomores returning, Bailey Williams, Eden Opie. Darren Ireton, Abby Moore. So those are some of the kids that played significant minutes for us last year that I think are going to contribute in very positive ways for us this year as well.
Okay, now we bring you our Raven profile player.
I'm Hannah Kolopek. I'm a senior at Olathe Northwest. 1, 2, 1. If it's snowing like it has been, we'll be inside running stairs or playing. Towards the beginning of all the other years I've been here, we've had to start fresh, start new, just get people in the rhythm of play of what we do. But since we have pretty much everyone returning, I think we can start a little bit farther ahead. If it's nice out, we'll come out here and just play.
Between the junior varsity and the varsity level is some of the smaller things like...
We have an unbelievable back line. They're all returning. They're walls. Defense is definitely one of our strong aspects.
Come on, connect. Hey, get across. Oh, come on.
I love showing up every day and working with the girls that I do every day. And the friendships that I've made throughout are just unbelievable.
Is it good?
I love to get into the attack when I want to, but I also love threading the ball to people running on. And I'm not the fastest on the team, that's for sure. I would like to distribute the ball and give my teammates chances too, and then be able to get in on crosses.
In! Get across!
I don't want to say I'm obsessive, but I'm in love with the game of soccer. We have a strong set of sophomores and juniors returning, a lot of them, and then we have a strong senior class, so I think we'll definitely make a better run than last year. I'm going to University of Missouri St. Louis on a scholarship, and I will be playing.
Here at Olathe North, the Eagles will need to avoid injuries this year, an obstacle that has been difficult for them to overcome in the past.
North comes off of a disappointing 8th place finish last year with a 4-12 record. They hope to have a good mix of youth and experience this season, returning a large junior class and bringing in new players. The Eagles are determined to play at a higher level this year and say that they are hungry for some wins.
We're here with Olathe North's head coach, David Glassman. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, you came off of a difficult season last year. Tell us about some of the obstacles you had to overcome.
Early on in the season, we had several injuries to some key players in key positions. That forced us to move some young ladies around. So it kind of derailed our season a little bit from the get-go. So we did have our struggles last year.
Well, you have some returners this year. You have some serious returners this year. Do you feel like you're getting a fresh start?
You bet. One silver lining to the injuries was that some young kids got a chance to play and play a lot of minutes and good significant minutes. So we do have that experience coming back. Also, along with some returners that we do kind of have a really strong nucleus to start anew a little bit.
Well, clearly you're looking to play at a higher level this year for some continuous improvement. How do you achieve that kind of improvement?
Through practice. As a coaching staff, we sat down and we've put some things together that's going to allow us to compete a little bit better at practice and train a little bit harder and train at a higher level. And we're hoping that bleeds onto the playing field.
So through this idea of training harder at practice, are you talking about a continuous day-to-day improvement?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to absolutely get better just day-to-day, game-to-game, just take kind of some baby steps and hopefully that builds to a better outcome for us this year.
Now, you referred to this squad as a determined bunch. How do you see that on the field?
Definitely determined is a good word for them. They come out very hungry, very passionate, and maybe, no matter what has happened throughout the day in their school day, when they step on that soccer field, they're just ready to get better and train harder.
Well, on these returning players, who are some of the ones that your fans should be keeping an eye on this year?
Sophia Sabal up top. She's one of those young kids that got a lot of playing time last year because of some of our injuries. I think she's going to give us a real scoring punch up top. Kennedy Orton out of our midfield. She does a great job distributing the ball and setting up our goal scorers. And then on our back line, Ashley Carpenter, another young kid that got a lot of playing time last year because of some of our injuries, and she's really going to solidify our back line.
Okay. Now we bring you our profile player from Olathe North.
Hi, I'm Sophia Sabala, and I'm a junior at Olathe North. I play outside mid or forward, and I've been playing ever since I was in 2nd grade. Play through. Definitely, soccer's my passion. I'm very fast, so I like to be to the ball first. And I think I'm aggressive, and I don't like it when people take the ball from me, so I'm always pushing girls off. We go inside in the gyms, and we'll scrimmage and do our drills inside. And it's a bit cramped, and the ball is smaller and goes faster. And if you can transition that to an outside field, you'll be able to play faster and move the ball around faster. There's a lot of sports going on at once, and we are at the bottom of the totem pole.
With our tryouts, how this is going to work.
We have a lot of juniors, and we need some leaders on the team to step up and be able to take control. I personally enjoy soccer, and a lot of the girls come out here and it's not their #1 sport, and they're just out here having fun, but I take it serious, so I make my girls work.
Do you feel the burn?
I try to be a leader and step up and help my team win some games this year.
The South Falcons have their eyes on a 3rd state championship, having won in 2003 and 2006. And this year, they believe they have the experience to get it done again.
A good core group of players will be back this year for South, who have critical varsity experience. With 10 returners, the Falcons hope to have good chemistry from day one. Last year's squad finished the season 8-3 in the Sunflower League and 9-8 overall.
Coming into his 14th year at Olathe South is head coach Will Stoskope. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Coach, you're coming off of a very solid 8-3 in the Sunflower League last year. Did you consider that a successful season?
I do. We showed a lot of growth last year. Going back 2 years, we had a very young team, and those players returned last year, and we were in every game. It was competitive every game, and I think we learned a lot about what it means to be competitive, and that's all part of the process for a young team. So this year, we look to build on that, obviously, being a year older, and we'll build on that success from last year.
You have a good set of core players coming back?
I feel like we do. We have 10 returners, and they, as I said, several of them have been on the team now for at least 2 years, so they'll be going into their 3rd year as lettermen on the team.
When you talk about your squad, you use the term family. Can you tell us what you mean by that?
Well, going back 3-4 years ago, we started making covenants, which we wanted 3 to 4 covenants each year to focus on that would be more of a description of our character of who we were as a team. And each year the team picks a word to represent, to stand for that covenant. And consistently, family's been a choice for both the boys and girls, actually. And I think it just speaks to how important it is in our program to have good chemistry and to care about each other on and off the field and in and out of season.
Well, speaking about off of the field, you place a lot of importance for your team beyond soccer.
It's a goal of mine to have a program where the kids will one day look back on it and look back on it with positive memories about the program, about the experience they had in the program, and about hopefully the friendships they make with their teammates, and hopefully those will go on and last for several years. And we always tell our seniors when they graduate that they're always a part of the program, and invite them back and invite them over to not just come to the games, but to come over and be on the bench with us and let them know that they're always a part of the program.
Can you tell us who your fans should be keeping an eye on this year?
Yeah, I would start with senior Allie Sliger. She's going to be a 4-year letterman, and she's a very versatile player for us. She can play at center mid, outside mid, up top, and she's got a great soccer sense. In addition to Allie, Jordan Hester, another 4-year letterman, is at the center back position, so she will be in charge of anchoring our defense. And then we got a couple of young players who are exciting. Abby Rhodes is a bigger, stronger, fast player, exciting attacking player. We believe she has that potential to dominate and take over a game. And then we had a freshman last year, so she was a sophomore this year. Hannah Lekanik was a great addition to our team last year. Can play again in the midfield or up top, and is just an exciting player to watch. She just has a motor that just goes, and she has an enthusiasm and a passion. She just loves to play, and that's contagious to the rest of the team, I think. So I would start with those 4 players and then would build from there.
Now we bring you Olathe South's profile player.
My name is Jordan Hester. I'm a senior at Olathe South. I've been playing soccer since I was 5. We have a bunch of talented girls here, and I think we have a bunch of girls that are here to play soccer and want to excel and be successful. Our goal for us this year is to get as far into postseason as possible, and I think it's important that we stay focused.
Get your knees up and come down like that. Really focus on getting your knees up. We're gonna do this one twice and then we're just gonna go and do the opposite foot.
Staying focused at practice is very important because all the practices where we were not focused the day before a game, we end up not performing it to the best of our ability. But we stayed on top of everything at practice. We executed things to the best of our ability at practice. We came out and we typically won the next game. As a defender, you must be extremely careful because any slip, anything like that, it could be a counter and the ball might be back in the back of your net. We're just as rough as the boys out there, and we'll go and we'll put our bodies on the other girl just to make sure that we have the ball still. Any leader that I can think of is one who makes sure that they always step up to their A game. They're very consistent and they keep their cool and they make sure everybody stays level-headed and they keep the team pumped up to play, make sure that nobody ever gives up. I see a bright future for this team and I want to help this team do the best that they can do. After I graduate, I plan on going to Fort Hays State University. I'm going to play soccer there and I'm going to major in athletic training. I'm very proud and I'm very thankful of my parents for pushing me to do my best and for always believing in my dreams, because that's what got me through it half the time.
Thank you for joining us for Coach Report Soccer Edition. Be sure and come out and support your teams this season.